Welcome to our City Current radio show. I'm your host, Andrew Bartolotta. Today we're talking about hope, healing, and health at a Northwest Mississippi primary healthcare clinic with Beth Kolb, Executive Director of Trinity Health Center. Beth, thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me, Andrew. I'm excited to be here.
Absolutely. Now, give listeners a history for Trinity Health Center and how it came to be, but also talk about the unique partnership with DeSoto County Dream Center as well.
Yeah, so Trinity Health Center, it provides high quality primary health care to the working uninsured in DeSoto County. So if you're familiar with Church Health in Memphis, we're modeled after Church Health. So it started with a partnership between two churches here in DeSoto County came together to work on this project, Brown Missionary Baptist and Compel Church, formerly Life Fellowship Church, partnership with a group called ECHO, who helps clinics like ours get started. And so many other churches have joined in along the way. And we just feel like and believe that the Bible tells us that the church has a responsibility to the people in our community to be a conduit of healing, not just spiritually, but physically as well. So yeah, we're located inside the DeSoto County Dream Center in Horn Lake. And so it's an amazing partnership. This is a beautiful facility that houses multiple compassion ministries within it. And we love the partnership that we get to have with the Dream Center to help reach the people of DeSoto County. You know, their slogan is to help people dream again. And so we love getting to be a part of that by bringing the healthcare aspect to the Dream Center. And so that's who we are. That's how we got started. We're 100% funded by donations. So churches, businesses, individuals, 100% of our funding comes from donations.
Well, I think it's really cool too, seeing the DeSoto County Dream Center come to life, being a formerly empty Harley Davidson dealer space, and now you're providing healthcare. There's it also houses DeSoto Grace. So you have the mentoring and student and educational activities, and you've got a church as well inside there. So it's cool to see it in a collaborative space. Talk about the services offered at Trinity Health Center and your team.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're a primary healthcare office. And so we're doing everything from diagnosing and treating acute disorders like infections and viruses to management of chronic conditions like hypertension and diabetes. We perform lab tests here, and then we partner with other specialties. So currently right now we have a partnership with a counselor who owns her own practice. But if our patients, if we see a need, if our providers see that our patient has a need that may require counseling, we have a counselor that comes in 2 days a month and offers her services to our patients as well. And so we're partnering with dentists and different radiological entities through different hospitals and places to where we can come together for the services that maybe we don't have, that we can refer out and try to get these other specialties to partner with us to provide on a sliding scale, which is what we use. We use a sliding scale for our patients' payment. That takes into account their income and their family size and gives them the amount that they pay for the services that we offer.
Why is it important to have Trinity Health Center available for the community here in DeSoto County?
Basically, Andrew, because the need exists here and it shouldn't be ignored. And that's the main reason. The need is here. And so when Trinity started, there was a lot of studies done to see, is there a need in DeSoto County for something like this? And there is. And it's a pretty massive need. There are residents of this community who are working and they're trying, but they simply can't afford health insurance. And that shouldn't disqualify you from getting quality health care. If you've ever been without health insurance, and I think most of us probably have at some point in our life, I know I have, then you know that it's not easy. You call a doctor's office and they give you an amount that it's going to cost to walk in the door, and it is unattainable for a lot of people to do that. And so I think two things happen. Either you feel like I'm going to get substandard care if I go somewhere because I don't have insurance, which is not how it should be. Or two, you feel like I got to go to the emergency room to get help. I'm not emergent, but that's the only option I have. And so what we hope to do is alleviate both of those things. One, you are going to get quality health care here. Our staff, they're amazing. They're here not only because they possess a certain skill, whether they're a nurse practitioner or a nurse or an administrator, they're also here because they have a calling on their life to give back to the people of their community. So when you walk in the door, you get a smiling face. You get quality nursing skills and quality medical skills from our team. And so that's one of the things that we hope to alleviate, that feeling that because I don't have health insurance, I'm not going to get what everybody else gets. You will get that at Trinity. And number two, we think that we could be able to alleviate some of the overrun ERs in our area by letting people know that there's a place you can go and get the care that you need without having to go to the emergency room. We can help you manage these disease processes that you're dealing with and hopefully keep our ERs available for those emergent patients.
What is the criteria for patients? What does that look like at Trinity Health Center?
Yeah, so it's pretty simple. We're providing care for the working uninsured. So our patients need to be 1 year and older, a resident of DeSoto County, working preferably 24 hours a week, and no insurance. That would be the big thing. If you can file anything, Medicare, Medicaid, insurance, then we're gonna help you find a place that can see you, because we don't even file those things here. We are strictly for the uninsured. Now, there's some exceptions to the working aspect. If you are a student taking at least 12 hours, then we can see them here. They don't have to be working. They just need to be uninsured. Or if you're a primary caregiver, you're a mom or dad or a grandparent taking care of children in the home, believe me, that's work. And so we know that that's work. And so we're here for those people as well. Basically anybody that's working and uninsured. And we, through COVID, we hit some things that were, confusing, and what are we going to do? And so we've made allowances for, man, I lost my job due to COVID and I'm just not back out there yet. I don't have that job yet. And we're working with those folks as well, because this is a time that none of us expected. And so we actually opened during the pandemic. And so that's kind of where we are now, is let's get the word out. That's why we want to have these moments with you, Andrew, and others, to let people know we're here. The doors are open and we're ready to see you.
Definitely. And when you talk about people like caregivers, it's also people like barbershop workers. We've had conversations before, or restaurant workers, servers. There's a lot of people that are working yet don't have the option to attain insurance. So it's great that Trinity Health Center is around for people in DeSoto County to take advantage of that and see and have a primary caregiver that they can come to and over again. It's not just for that one time.
Right.
So that's great. What puts a smile on your face when you look at the work that you and your team are able to accomplish?
Man, I'd have to say it's the patients. It's got to be the patients, and we get to hear statements like, I heard this last week, I didn't think there was anything for me. And obviously I can't give you names and things to go with these patients for privacy reasons, but I had a patient who was approximately 61 years old. She's not ready for Medicare yet. She's still working. She doesn't have insurance. She can't afford insurance. And so she was just shocked that she had heard of Church Health in Memphis. She lives in DeSoto County, and she just thought, there's nothing around here for me. And so, it's kind of like you said, it's not just a one and done. She understood that she saw our nurse practitioner and that she was going to come back in 3 months and see her again. But when we explained to her when she was leaving, well, we're here. If you get sick, if you get a cold, and she was like, I can come for any of that. And we let her know, we are your doctor's office now. And so things like that are just exciting. We've heard things like, I've never been treated like this before. And the simple thank you. I mean, it's amazing the number of patients that leave here and say thank you. And it's not just the words thank you. I mean, we say that all the time. You get pulled over and get a ticket, you end up telling the police officer, thank you. And you're thinking, I really don't want to thank you. But it's the look on their face when they say it. You see that now there's hope. Now they realize I can get quality health care, and I don't feel like I'm being punished for not having insurance. And so that does it for me every day.
How can people support your efforts? Talk about volunteering, any upcoming events, donations.
I was thinking about this. If I were to tell people four words that would let them know how they can support us, the first one would be pray. And so we're always asking that you pray for our team, for our patients, and for our donors. You know, anybody that's involved with Trinity Health Center, if you're a person of prayer, then we ask you to pray. Another way is to share who we are with the people in your life. You may have insurance. I run into people all the time that say, I have insurance, but I have a neighbor who was just asking me, do you know where I can go? Or I have a family member who doesn't have insurance. Do you know where they can go? Tell people we're here. And then share our posts on social media. We're on the social media outlets, and we'll give you that near the end of the interview, but we're on Facebook and Instagram, and we have an Amazon wish list. And so we're in a lot of places online. Share those things to let people know that we're here and we're ready to see them. Another way to get involved is volunteer. And so if you want to be a part of what we're doing, actually, right before we started, Andrew, I got the opportunity to meet a volunteer, a new volunteer is going to be coming in and working with us. And so we're always ready to welcome new volunteers, whether they be medical or non-medical. We have plenty of things going on here to utilize volunteers. And that's a big part of what we do here is using volunteers. There's a place on our website where you can sign up to be a volunteer. And then finally, the other way I would say is to give. If you believe that what we're doing is important, then be a part of it financially. We have patients that will pay their fee maybe $25 for their visit, and this is one of the most exciting things for us as a team is they'll give us 30, and they'll say, I want the $5 to be a donation to Trinity. And that to me speaks volumes, that not only are they saying, I'm coming here because this is for me, this is affordable for me, but I want to put back into it for that next person. And so whether it's a gift that size or whether you just are feeling like, man, this is something I want to invest in, in a more substantial way financially. I don't know that anything's more substantial than someone giving what little they have, but there's a lot of ways to get involved financially. You can contact me for a tour or to learn more about the organization, who we are. You can give monthly, yearly. We're just looking for financial partners that want to be a part of this, that want to see what we're doing and believe in it. We're actually going to be the beneficiary of a golf scramble coming up. So Horn Lake Chamber of Commerce every year does an annual golf scramble. And so this year they chose Trinity Health Center to be the beneficiary of that. And we could not be more honored. And it's going to take place September 9th. And we'll have all that information on our website and on our social media pages. But you can get involved in that. You can put together a golf team or sponsor a hole. There's a lot of things to do there. And so those are the big things, Andrew. Pray, share, volunteer, and give are the big ways that people can really get involved right now.
There are so many ways to get involved with Trinity Health Center, and I love that. And before we go and talk about where people can learn more about Trinity Health Center, I think it's important too to talk about, you talked about it earlier, where people shouldn't be punished for not having health insurance and maybe going to a somewhat sketchy place to get their healthcare needs. Yeah. Talk about the quality of Trinity Health Center space. I think that's something important to talk about when you walk in. I mean, it's a beautiful facility. Yeah. Talk about when you come in there, what you can expect.
Yeah. So again, inside the DeSoto County Dream Center, and Andrew alluded to it earlier, this was a Harley Davidson building and it was sitting empty. And so before I came on here, I was a staff member at Compel Church. And so the first time we walked in this building, we said, this is the Dream Center. This is it. And so when you walk in the front door, you go to the left, and that's where Trinity Health Center is. And it's a completely remodeled space. It's beautiful. It's just extremely clean. And the rooms are amazing. It's just, you walk in and you think, wow, I had a friend come in who has insurance, and she said, this is nicer than my doctor's office. It's a beautiful facility. We just had some great partners on the front end that gave to get these rooms equipped. We have a full lab, it's a beautiful facility, but the quality of the people inside of it, I think even tops the facility itself. We just have a standout team. They're amazing. We have a medical director, Dr. Patrick Ball is our medical director, and he's in practice here in the DeSoto County area. But he also stepped up and said early on and said, I want to be involved in Trinity Health Center. And so he is our medical director. And then Tina Smith is our full-time nurse practitioner. And she has a heart for this. She could have chosen to go anywhere and work as a nurse practitioner, but she gets it. She gets the idea of being there for our community, being literally the hands and feet of Jesus in our community. And so Tina's phenomenal. And then we have two other full-time staff members, Madison and Tamika, and they blow me away every day. And our patients, I've had patients come in and say, I knew I was going to like this place from the first time I called here, because it comes through not just in person, but on the phone. In every way, they're thinking about the patient first. And that can be hard in the medical world. I practiced as a nurse for years before I did this. And a lot of times that can, if we're not real careful, you have to really be careful. That can get away from you, because you start getting into this regulation, this rule, and you're looking at a lot of things. And sometimes you forget about the actual people involved. And our team does a great job of keeping the people at the center of what we're doing. And so it's a wonderful facility, but the people I get to surround myself with daily, Andrew, and because you know these people, and Andrew's an extended part of our team as well. And it's amazing. It's a wonderful, wonderful place.
You do have a great team. You also have a great board who's involved and really has helped this place come to fruition. So it's great. Now, where can people go to learn more about Trinity Health Center?
But we're located at 6935 Windchase Drive. And so if you're familiar with Goodman Road, which most of us are, we've had our own frustrations on that road, I'm sure, but we're off of Goodman Road between I-55 and Highway 51 would be the two major streets that we're in between. And there's a little street there called Windchase Drive, and you'll see our sign up there on the road. And then we're inside the DeSoto County Dream Center. Online, you can find us at trinityhealthcenter.org. You can find us on Facebook and Instagram, Trinity Health Center. And then any link to anything else we're involved in is going to be in those three places. You'll find links to the golf scramble that's coming up, or links to our Amazon wish list, which is another way that people give to us, which is really, really outstanding. I can be emailed at bkolb, it's BKOLB, at trinityhealthcenter.org. And I'd love to hear from you. If you want to come for a tour, or you're just interested more in what we're doing, I'd love to speak with you.
Beth, thank you so much for coming on the City Current Radio Show. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having me, Andrew. It's been a blast. Thank you.